2019 Corvette ZR1 convertible. ZR1 convertible is truly a no-compromise supercar. So these two amazing Corvette ZR1s epitomize a strong alliance between design and engineering. Our team's effort has created the finest Corvettes in our history.
And what this car represents is a real collaborative effort and a combination of what we learned from racing. This is a very serious machine in terms of what it's capable of doing, but also it's a wonderful piece of dynamic art.
So I've seen the evolution of the 5th generation, 6th generation, 7th generation, and now the highlight of the 7th generation, the ZR1. So we're really, really happy and really, really proud we're able to do one and do one that really does justice to the ZR1 name.
So I was told to do about a 20-minute walk around of this car. But I understand that most of you probably know a little bit more about it than I do. Since we did this the first time in April, there's been a lot of test drives. The journalists got to drive it. There's videos all over the place. So I'm not gonna kill you with 20 minutes because I know most of you just want to see the car and see it started. But it would be a shame not to say a few things about the Corvette in general. We all know it's one of the longest running brands, and this is the 7th generation. And every now and then GM decides to bless us with an extra special car, and in this case that's the ZR1. There's been, can somebody tell me how many generations of the ZR1 there have been? How many ZR1? 4. Gentleman with a gun and a badge. I'm gonna have to give him a hat for that. I'm gonna have to give him a hat for that. There was a C3, C4, the C5 was skipped, and then a C6 and the C7. This is really the baddest Corvette they've ever built. This is probably the last true supercar, front engine, rear wheel drive, right? Because most of you have now read, and there's been mules spotted everywhere, the next generation car is gonna be what? Mid-engine. Maybe. Who knows, right? Yeah, everything points to that direction. The other thing that they're saying, this is probably one of the only supercars that you can still get and roll your own gears, right? So if you can get your name on the list, this is probably the one you would want parked in the garage. And there's a small fear of mine because this car really has been started 3 times for 3 events, and today she needed some help. So I'm gonna need you to say a little prayer that she starts when it's time to do so. But when it does, there's not another Corvette straight from the factory that sounds as good as this one. They've done an amazing, amazing job. 755 horsepower. Actually, this one's got a few more because it's got an air intake on it. Available from your local GM dealer. With this car has 17 horsepower. The whole front of the car is different. It's heavily based on the Z06, which is a supercar on its own. But they've addressed a few things that bogged down the Z06, especially on the track, right? They had some cooling issues, so GM added some extra coolers. Can somebody tell me how many coolers they've added?
5.
14? 7.
How many have they added?
3.
It's 4.
Oh.
But we'll give you a hat for the effort. 1 short. Actually, there's a total of 13 coolers in this particular car, right? But there are 12 in a manual. Wait, this is a manual. So, I can sit here and talk to you about the car for a while, but we all want to see it, right? So can I get a couple team members from South Point so we can unveil this bad boy, start it up, and then we're going to talk some more and show you what it looks like. I just need a couple guys. Strong, strapping lads. We can start from the front. and then just go to the back. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it says orange.
This cover was built specifically for this car, for this particular reason. I'm not going to start it yet. I'm going to torture you for a while. So we talk about coolers. The whole front end is different, right? So it's the stuff that you can see, but it's also the stuff that you can't see, because for those of you that have read the reviews, there's an airfoil underneath the car that counterbalances this huge wing. This wing adds 950 pounds of downforce. It makes this car stick, and if you read any of the reviews, it's absolutely amazing what this car will do on the track. As a matter of fact, the engineers were running some laps around VIR and accidentally beat the production car record at VIR, accidentally. Then they let the guys drive him at Atlanta, and there also it beat the production car record. So the car is amazing. I read some of the reviews basically saying that if I were to drive this car on the street, I'd get a manual, because I can. If I were to drive it on the racetrack, I'd definitely get an automatic, because the car is so fast you can't think fast enough. So it's the last Samurai, front engine, rear wheel drive. This particular car was ordered with a ZTK package, which is going to give you the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, and it's going to give you that really large wing in the back, and it's also going to, magnetic ride is going to be adjusted, or slight adjustment to it. Other than that, it's also Sebring Orange design package, which is your paint. You'll see that the front wing and the sides have that little orange tint to it. The orange